Hinahangad ng Pilipinas ang kasarinlan at pananatilihin kong buhay ang adhikain ng aking bayan hanggang sa katapusan. Mas magandang mamatay sa digmaan
kesa tanggapin ang pamumuno ng dayuhan.
kung panaginip lamang ang umasa sa pag-unlad.
Managinip tayo hanggang sa kamatayan.
Hindi magtatagal para sa pag-ibig sa inang bayan.
Waring dalang isang lihim na mensahe.
Dinagit tayo ng isang nakakubling kamay at itinapon na parang mga dahon sa gitna ng sigwa.
Hindi magtatagal. Tayo magiging nag-aalib po yung alabok na lamang.
Heneral Luna is an R-rated Filipino historical biopic film directed by Gerald Darog and was released back September 9, 2015. It has a production budget of 80 million pesos and it is one of the most expensive Filipino epic historical films ever released. Heneral Luna achieves the Gawad Ariane Award for Best Cinematography, Gawad Ariane Award for Best Editing, Gawad Ariane Award for Best Direction, and Gawad Ariane Award for Best Sound. Heneral Luna also has been selected as the country's submission for the Best Foreign Language Film for Oscar at the 88th Academy Awards. But sad to say, it was not nominated.
Heneral Luna is starring John Arcilla as General Antonio Luna, one of the brilliant but fiery general of his time. He is also the chief of staff with the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Among his men and comrades, he is known for being fiery.
Kumusta na ako ng Ingles? Arestuhin nyo na, tangina naman, oh. Sige na! Rapido! Ingles mo sa bayan ko, punyata!
Aaron Villaflor as Joven Hernando, the young and true-going journalist but a fictional character that represents the next generation. Mon Confiado as President Emilio Aguinaldo, the president in time of Heneral Luna.
Huwag kang mag-alala, Tomas.
Epi Quezon as Apolinario Mabini, the Prime Minister of the First Philippine Republic and former Secretary of Foreign Affairs, who served as the advisor of President Emilio Aguinaldo. Other people might be curious why he is always sitting, and it is because he is an invalid person.
Nasubukan mo na bang huliin ang hangin?
Joem Bascon as Paco Roman and Archie Alemania as Eduardo Rusca. They are both Luna's best men. Lawrence Martinez as General Tomas Mascardo, a general who always thinks that General Luna is a vain general. He is also one of those who push the government to accept America's sovereignty. Noni Buencamino as Felipe Buencamino, one of the members of the cabinet and in favor of the proposed autonomy by the Americans, and many other characters.
This movie is about a general who faces resistance from his countrymen as he fights for freedom during the Philippine-American War and how it was ruined by betrayal. The movie started with the fact that the movie Heneral Luna is a work of fiction since liberties have been taken with the depiction of historical figures and the order of events. It becomes a great warning since one's figure might be ruined if the viewers will judge the names involved without knowing the real history. If the first line would make you cautious, then the next lines will catch your attention since it is contradicting with the first lines. Try to look for the deep meaning of it, and you will realize that it just means that the movie might be fiction and some events are imaginary, but this imaginary could be the hidden truth we are seeking for. The first conversation of Heneral Luna with Joven Hernando is like the general is bringing his own chair when he says,
Ako mismo ang nagbayad nito.
but if you try to put yourself in his shoes, you will realize that it has a deep meaning. That Heneral Luna wants us to know that he, as one of the leaders, uses his own money and not his people's money to buy his personal things. While in the next scene, we can witness how Heneral Luna gives importance to unity, but still misinterpreted by his co-general.
Saan na galing to?
Mga bagong uniforme po, galing kay Heneral Luna.
Anong bagong uniforme? May uniforme na tayo.
Pinag-isa po ni Heneral Luna ang disenyo para magkaisa po ang kilusan.
Kung makikinig sa hambog na yun.
In every cabinet meeting, the viewers will realize what is the ill of the movie, how Filipino leaders can't have their unity, and how other leaders place personal interests ahead of the national interests by accepting US domination without a fight.
Mas madali upang pagkasunduin ang langit at lupa, Joven, kaysa dalawang Pilipino tungkol sa alinmang bagay.
Paano ang aming mga negosyo? Kapag nakapaglaban kami, babagsak ang ekonomiya. Paano namin mapapakain ang aming mga pamilya?
Negosyo o kalayaan, bayan o sarili, pumili ka!
In every fight or argument with either Americans or fellow Filipinos, Heneral Luna always shows his bravery and intelligence in making decisions and tactics for the fight. Problem, Heneral Luna has his own way to solve it, that sometimes he uses force.
Hindi naman po kami pwedeng tumanggi. Pag di daw po kami sumama sa kanya, papatayin daw niya kaming lahat.
But even if Heneral Luna strives to make his country free from the Americans, he was still killed by his fellow Filipinos. After the death of the general, you will get curious about who is the head of those Filipino who killed the fiery general. Does it is the president who was mentioned that gives a letter for the general? Or it was Felipe Buencamino who was there in the place where the general was killed? But at the end of the movie, you will just realize that we Filipinos are the one to be blamed for the frightening death of the general.
Tama ang Heneral. Ang totoong kaaway ng mga Pilipino ay ang sarili niya. Kaya tayo ang pumatay sa kanya.
After watching the full movie, you will be amazed and realize that the movie Heneral Luna is a picture framed around a series of interviews of Heneral Luna with Joven Hernando, threaded into a narrative at well-judged moments. This lively conversation provides viewers with valuable insights into the general's personality and assists greatly in keeping track of the story bulging inventory of characters and events. The main character, Heneral Luna, teaches us the value of unity, cooperation, and loyalty to your country. Without these three, we cannot achieve peace.
Sabihin mo sa ating mga kababayan na hindi nakakamit ang kalayaan sa pag-aaruga sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay.
The movie's plot is already good, but the filmmaking makes the movie incredibly amazing. The cameras are not too malikot, in that way you won't feel dizzy. The camera's angle, distance, and lightings are very good. It is nice to watch it because its camera uses widescreen of lush rural areas, artful composition sequence inside the corridor of power and fluid, exciting coverage of the many set combat pieces, and the scene has good diegetic and non-diegetic sound effects. The editing gives a smooth connection between all the pieces of the film. Also, the actors and the actresses justified the characters they are portraying. You can feel every emotions they wanted to express. John Arcilla, who plays the role of the main character, brings life to General Luna's reputation for inspiring both undying loyalty to his country and his unbreakable principles. The performance of the actors and the actresses are both satisfying. The sets and the costumes have this raw and organic quality. The battle looks real, but the blood is not really convincing because it has this pasty color, like in the scene where Heneral Luna is being tortured. Every introduction of the characters and the scenes makes the viewer easily remember the characters or the scenes. Overall, it's worth watching the Heneral Luna.